You ever encounter a woman who is flirtatious? You better do something about this, or else it is going to create unnecessary challenges. This is going to be a touchy subject, but you have to understand this is a message specifically for my kings. And it's this. Personally, I am a king. How can I confidently say that? Because my God is a king. I come from a kingdom. I serve the king. Number two, if you know me, I make nothing but kings. 3 for 3. Biologically, you get my point. I am a leader of men. Absolutely. What I mean by that is I am a king of industry who deals with other kings of industry. And it's not about bragging. It's about responsibility. See, none of what I do and who I am is about ownership, even though I am about ownership. It's all about stewardship. So I understand, right, to whom much has been given, much is expected. And I also understand that where great power is given, even greater responsibility exists. And so that's why it is especially important for me to touch on this subject. And it's this. When you encounter kings, a woman who is flirtatious, understandably so, like, I get modern society. I don't want to seem old and out of date. But at the same point, really only 2 options exist. For you to enable it as a king means really one of 2 situations are presently involved in your circumstance, and it's this. Number 1, to unwisely allow it means you're either weak as a man to allow it. Yep, that's what I said, didn't stutter. Or number 2, you are foolish in allowing her neediness to be on public display. Whatever the case, neither is a good option, whether it's because you allow it because you're weak or you allow it because it's predicated on neediness. And so why is this especially important in modern society? And it's this. If you don't know, the study or data says that half of all men, whatever color, whatever race, whatever religion, whatever creed, doesn't matter, half of all men are presently incarcerated over a woman. Yep. Yep. That, all fact and no cap. If you want to argue, go argue with your mama, because I ain't the one. The point is this. Numbers don't lie, only people do. However, kings, as I've shared previously, and I'm going to always say this, every social ill begins or ends when a man is in his rightful place in the home. So again, I hold us accountable for any and all things, great or small, because God called us to lead, manage, and steward all things. Yep. Absolutely. That's your responsibility. So if there's anything I see that I don't like, it's because knowingly or unknowingly, whether it be based on knowledge or ignorance, it's because it's mostly something that I'm allowing, largely due to ignorance, or allowing because I'm not wise enough or mature enough to stand on my square, because that's what a man does. And so ultimately, as it relates to the data, that is not a female issue, that is a male issue. And so why do these numbers play out as it pertains to half of all men being incarcerated related to a woman? It's usually because we are trying to provide something to flex for a woman, or we're trying to prove something. All of which is foolish, King, because while you out there making bad choices and then while you doing time over that situation, what do you think is happening when you ain't there? Yeah, it's not technical glitches. That's a pause to prove a point. And it's this. It's not worth it. However, to avoid that, that means we as men got to grow a backbone, stand up, put your crown on, keep it on, and understand whose you are and who you are. And so ultimately, it begins with those are behaviors. Be offended by that harsh of a word if you want to, that I'm never going to allow because I don't have to, or I am going to effectively as a man deal with what are these needy matters to why flirting or marketing is a necessity, you feel. And then we're going to unpack that. The point is this. It's all about, King, holding yourself to a high standard and then causing all of those who are in your kingdom, whatever that is, right, to be held to a high standard in order to achieve the highest and best outcome for all. But what does it mean? It means we have got to lead in all ways on all days. My job is to love, lead, elevate through the good, not so good. I'm not a perfect product, working to be better. But the whole point of it is I'm working on it every day, as to should you. And so what we've learned, right, is it is highly unwise, King, to not effectively deal with those matters, because that is a result of either you being too weak to allow it or you not communicating to understand what the neediness is, because ultimately what the data proves is that half of all men are incarcerated because of something related to a woman, in the sense of, again, because we got to be accountable. They not making our choices. We have to. Means we usually trying to flex or front or do something, and yet that is highly unwise, because while you're doing that time, Pookie and them doing a whole nother kind of time, and it ain't the kind you want. You get my point reading between the lines. As that is said, I want to remind you that truth is controversial, but the truth is the truth, no matter who tells it. And so this is not intended to hurt you or harm you, but to build you up, because ultimately, men, we as men have got to be the change that we want to see. And that change begins and ends when good men stand up, because evil only prevails when good men do nothing. And so as the good, we're going to do what needs to be done, having, as I like to call, courageous conversations done in love, right? Never accusing or blaming or criticizing. We make our thoughts known, and then we pray about everything and allow God to stimulate and create the change necessary in you, because change only begins and ends with you. It's never for someone else, and you can never do it for someone else. But again, as a leader, you have to see beyond the hill, because ultimately that is how great leaders lead. We figure it out, personally and professionally. We figure it out what? Through reliance, through our faith life, and then the work ethic we put in, and then the boundaries and standards we exact on anything related to what we're called to steward in order to reach the best outcome, because God is not the author of confusion. So we're going to do everything with decency and order. As always, as the founder of Developer Nation, I want to invite you to click the link below. You see the logo here for Developer Nation, to come join us. Whether you have a vision for small scale real estate, large scale, we want to educate you. We want to equip you. We want to immerse you and expose you to the opportunity for funding from our capital partners, ranging from family office, high net worth, private equity, hedge fund, where our goal through community and through group economics is to build generational wealth for our children's children, which is best done through real estate. Please like, comment, subscribe. Any question or comment you offer, I will personally respond to at some point. And all that being said, remember, all things work together for the good of those that love God and are called according to your purpose. I will see you in the next episode.